P-51. Mustang 1942. The P-51 Mustang is one of the aircraft that fundamentally changed air superiority in World War II. In the early years of the war, American bomber fleets suffered heavy losses as they advanced into the depths of Germany. The main reason for this was the absence of a fighter plane that could protect these bombers over long distances. After being equipped with the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, the Mustang completely solved this problem. Thanks to its long range, it could escort bombers all the way to Berlin and demonstrated superior performance at high altitudes. This led to the systematic weakening of the German Luftwaffe. The P-51 was not just an escort aircraft, it was also an extremely effective fighter. The balance of speed, maneuverability, and firepower made it one of the most successful warplanes of its time. The Mustang is one of the clearest examples of how air superiority determined the fate of ground battles. F-86 Sabre, 1949. The F-86 Sabre is one of the first true air superiority fighters of the jet age. The clashes with Soviet MiG-15s during the Korean War are considered the birth of modern jet air combat. Its swept-wing design provided control and stability at high speeds. The Sabre gave its pilots both speed and maneuverability advantages, offering a significant edge over the MiGs. This aircraft became one of the symbols of the Cold War in the skies and set the standards for the jet age. The F-100 Super Sabre was the first supersonic fighter jet in the American inventory. Its ability to break the sound barrier ushered in a new era in air combat technology. Heavily used during the Vietnam War, the F-100 mostly carried out ground attack missions. Although it experienced flight safety issues in its early years, it gradually became a reliable platform. As a pioneer of the supersonic era, the Super Sabre opened the door to modern fighter jets. F-4 Phantom II, 1960. The F-4 Phantom II popularized the concept of a multi-role fighter aircraft on a global scale. With its speed, altitude, and weapons capacity, it was one of the most powerful aircraft of its time. It was used in both air-to-air and air-to-ground missions during the Vietnam War. Although the absence of a gun in its initial design was criticized, this shortcoming was later corrected. The Phantom entered the inventories of dozens of countries, becoming a true aviation legend. The F-15 Eagle was developed for absolute air superiority. It was unmatched in speed, climb rate, and radar power. Its record of never having lost an air-to-air battle to date has made it one of the most successful fighter jets in history. F-16 Fighting Falcon, 1978. The F-16 is a light, agile, and multi-role fighter aircraft. Pilot visibility and maneuverability are prioritized. Thanks to its affordable cost, it has become widespread around the world and has redefined the concept of a modern fighter jet. A 10 Thunderbolt II-1977, the A-10 is a special aircraft designed to protect ground troops. Durability and firepower are prioritized over speed. The GAU-8 cannon is deadly against tanks. It has become one of the most reliable supports in the sky for soldiers. F-117 Nighthawk, 1983. The F-117 brought stealth technology to the battlefield for the first time. Its radar and visibility fundamentally changed the nature of warfare. In the Gulf War, it struck critical targets almost undetected. F-22 Raptor 2005. The F-22 is a fifth-generation air superiority fighter. It combines stealth, super maneuverability, and sensor superiority. F-35 Lightning II 2015. The F-35 is at the center of network-centric warfare. It doesn't just fight, it controls the battlefield. It is one of the most advanced platforms forming the backbone of modern air power. P-38 Lightning 1939. The P-38 Lightning, with its unusual twin-engine design, was one of the most remarkable American aircraft of World War II. Thanks to its long range and heavy armament, it achieved great success, especially in the Pacific theater. Its weapons consolidated in a single fuselage ensured high accuracy. The Lightning was one of the few aircraft that delivered effective performance at high altitudes. This feature made it indispensable for reconnaissance missions and long-range interception operations. At the same time, it was effective not only against enemy aircraft, but also against ground targets. One of its most famous missions was shooting down the plane of Japanese Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto. This operation showcased the strategic power of the P-38 to the whole world. The Lightning went down in history as one of the war's versatile and technologically advanced platforms. P-47, Thunderbolt, 1941. The P-47 Thunderbolt was a fighter plane known for its massive body and durability. Although it looked cumbersome at first glance, it could reach high speeds thanks to its powerful engine, and could return to base even after taking heavy damage. This plane became legendary, especially in ground attack missions. Tanks, trains, and enemy convoys were the main targets of the P-47s. With 8 machine guns and the capacity to carry rockets and bombs, it was practically a flying artillery battery. Nicknamed the Flying Tank among pilots, the Thunderbolt directly supported the advance of ground forces on the European front. Its durability and firepower made it one of the most reliable aircraft in the war. F-80, Shooting Star, 1945. The F-80 Shooting Star was America's first operational jet fighter aircraft and symbolized the beginning of the jet age. Although it arrived too late for World War II, it made its real impact during the Korean War. Capable of reaching much higher speeds, compared to propeller-driven planes, the F-80 changed the rules of air combat. However, it also faced range and engine reliability issues typical of early jet technology. Still, the Shooting Star was a critical transitional platform for the U.S. Air Force. Through this aircraft, jet combat doctrine was shaped, and the foundation for the next generation of fighters was laid. F-84 Thunderjet, 1947. The F-84 Thunderjet is one of the United States' most important transitional aircraft of the early jet age. Developed immediately after World War II, this aircraft played a critical role in the transition from propeller-driven fighters to jet-powered platforms. The F-84 made its first flight in 1946 and entered service in 1947. The Thunderjet's primary mission was not air superiority, but ground attack and nuclear strike capability. In this respect, the F-84 held an important place in the U.S. nuclear deterrence doctrine. In the early years of the Cold War, it served as one of the first American jets capable of carrying nuclear bombs. F-84s were used extensively during the Korean War. Although disadvantaged in air combat against more agile enemy jets like the MiG-15, the Thunderjet was highly effective against ground targets. Bridges, trains, supply lines, and troop concentrations were among the main targets of these aircraft. F-105, Thunderchief, 1958. The F-105. Thunderchief is one of the largest and heaviest single-engine fighter jets developed by the United States during the Cold War. First flying in 1955 and entering service in 1958, this aircraft was designed from the outset for high-speed, deep-strike missions. Its primary purpose was to penetrate enemy air defenses, hit critical targets, and quickly withdraw from the area. The Thunderchief's design philosophy was centered on nuclear strike. Its fuselage was optimized to fly at low altitudes at high speeds, aiming to evade radar detection and reach its target in a short time. However, the Vietnam War placed the F-105 in a completely different and much more dangerous mission environment. F-14 Tomcat 1974, the F-14. Tomcat was designed for long-range air defense. Thanks to its variable sweep wings, it could take off at low speeds and intercept at high speeds. Its greatest strength was its missiles, capable of hitting targets from very long distances. This allowed it to protect aircraft carriers from enemy bombers. The Tomcat was the shield of the Cold War at sea. F/A 18 Hornet, 1983. The Hornet is a versatile fighter aircraft developed for the Navy. It can take off from aircraft carriers and perform a variety of missions. Its reliability and flexibility have made it a cornerstone of modern naval aviation. AV-8. B. Harrier, 1985. The Harrier is unique with its vertical takeoff and landing capability. It minimizes the need for a runway. This feature provides a great advantage on the front lines. B-2 Spirit, 1989. The B-2 Spirit is one of the most advanced bombers in the world. Thanks to its stealth design, it can carry out intercontinental missions. Its silent and invisible nature represents the pinnacle of strategic deterrence. F-35 Lightning II, 2015. The F-35 is at the center of network-centric warfare. It collects information, shares it, and controls the battlefield. It forms the backbone of modern air power.